dipping randomly into a book, finding a random sentence and seeing what it tells me about what's going on in my mind right now. This Sunday morning, my fingers found the Theban plays by Sophocles. Well, let's see. 496 to 406 BCE. The great Sophocles. We get very excited about the ancient Greek civilization as the start of Western civilization. Well, yeah, maybe so. But it's also a continuity, drawing from the Egyptian and the Persian and the Sumerian and all of the rest that came before. Drawing from, passing on. And philosophically, we think of Plato and Aristotle, Sophocles, but then there are the alternative strands. The more I learn about Heraclitus or Heraclitus, however you say it in Greece, the more I realize how important the alternative strands of Greek philosophy are. Nonetheless, I think we can agree that Sophocles and the Greek tragedians and comedians really created something transformative when they began to create works of mass theatre, mass spectacle. It's interesting, I went to the ancient theatre in Epidaurus in southern Greece, one of the major remains of one of the massive amphitheatres. I never realised till I got there, it's actually a healing centre. It's not an entertainment centre, it's a healing centre. As far as I remember, you would go there if you were unwell. We can probably think of this as much being to do with psychological wellness as physical wellness. You would go there and you would stay there for a period of time where the priests would give you various sort of sleeping concoctions and you would sleep together, and things like the theatre were intended as stimulus and insight, and the cure would come, if I remember the protocol correctly, the cure would come when the god who was intended to cure you would come to you in your sleep and cure you. So beautiful sense of a combination of health, culture, imagination, dreaming, self-awareness, insight, collective and individual health. Theatre not as a entertainment that you go to once or twice a month, but as an integral part of how to live a good life, an essential part of how to live a good life. Of course, it was only for a certain class, and some things don't change. Let's see what Sophocles has to say to us today. I have opened it up at Oedipus at Colonus. It is my grey head or yours that is more insulted by such talk. A stream of vile abuse, of murder and incest, and all the events that have thrust themselves upon me. Is it my grey head or yours that is more insulted by such talk? A stream of vile abuse, of murder and incest, and all the events that have thrust themselves upon me. Well, the thing that stands out to me as I read that is that first question: is it my grey head or yours that is more insulted by such talk? Very useful when let's talk about me, when I find myself in a position where I am feeling myself to be attacked or abused or insulted. It's very useful to ask the question, who is actually more insulted by this talk? Me, at whom it is directed, or the person who is dirtying their mind and their mouth with innuendo and rumor and unkindness? Unless that sounds like I'm being somehow self-righteous, is not the opposite also true? If I choose to attack or insult or demean or question the integrity of someone else, who is more insulted by that? Am I insulting the other person? Or am I in fact insulting my own claim to be a intelligent, reflective, compassionate person by giving into vileness? Who is more insulted when insults are passed from one person to another, the receiver or the insulter? I shall mull on that today. If you would like to work with me, I've just announced Interconnection, the Self with Others group for men, where this autumn I'll be running 6 workshops for anyone who identifies as male, looking into some of the challenges of being a man in this day and age. If you're interested in that or in working with me as coach or mentor, please get in touch. I promise not to insult you. Have a wonderful day.